Oh, now what? Hey, thanks for dropping by. Can't Let Her Die DIY. If you found this video, you found this channel, you must be having trouble with your nuts. Is your nuts causing you trouble? Are they causing you pain? Lug nuts, that is. Yeah, I just went through a nightmare. Came in here to rotate the tires. Easy job. And spent over an hour working on this one lug nut that wouldn't come off. Just a nightmare. So I just wanted to show you, maybe I could show you some of the ways that did not work, some of the ways that did, and save you hours and hours of frustration and time getting that lug nut off. Do you want to see the tools you may be tempted to use to get that lug nut off? Let's take a look. What do we got here? BFH, the big friendly hammer comes out. Uh-oh. We got a smaller hammer, a brass hammer, softer metal so it doesn't damage things. PB blaster, you know we're into trouble when we got the penetrating oil out. We got a series of sockets here. We got deep well sockets, 21, 13/16, and 19 millimeters, progressively getting smaller. And we have the normal size sockets, 21, 13/16, and 19 millimeter. Which ones work, which ones don't? You have to see the video to find out. What's this? We got the breaker bar. And even worse than that, we got a 5-foot section of galvanized pipe to go over the breaker bar to give us even more cranking power. What the heck? There's the Problematic Lug Nut. My grandfather's screwdriver always makes an appearance. And what do we got here? We got a power drill with a grinding wheel. And what's this? An air-powered impact wrench. These are the tools that was used. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. Check it out. Let's get busy. And you're back. The first thing we got to do is get the wheel off, see what's going on with the brakes. Okay, we've got an issue here. I got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lug nuts off, no problem. They are torque to spec, 150 foot-pounds. We have a stubborn one right here. There was a little dent in there on the cap to begin with. It should look like this. And so what that tells me is that got stuck in the socket. Someone had it stuck in this socket sometimes, right? And you put something up there and pound it out. So what's happening is these lug nuts are defective. These are Ford original equipment lug nuts, and they have they're called an acorn style lug nut. They actually have a chrome cap that starts right there, so you can see it starts right there. This cap that fits over the hardened steel. And I guess it looks nice, right? But what happens is, you can see this one, when you get these socket sets that only go in this far, you can see it puts a lot of pressure on this cap that's on this lug nut. And over time, this fails. This cap starts to fail, like that one. It started to strip. So you can see this lug nut, you can see the first half of the lug nut is twisted this way, and so you can only get the socket on halfway. This lug nut is failing. The cap on this lug nut is failing. I'm going to have to pound it on and hopefully either break off this cap, and that way I'll be able to access the stronger steel behind it, or it'll come off and it will never get put back on again because we're going to replace it. But it's an issue, and you're not getting this off on the side of the road if you had a flat tire or whatever. This is it's a challenge, it's a problem, and it is twisting right off. So hopefully it comes right off and exposes the harder lug nut. Okay, now that I've totally rounded off the first half of that lug nut, you can see it's just the socket set's just spinning on it. So this part is rounded, but the inner part, which I could not reach, is stronger, and that should have still some good grab to it. So hopefully I can pound this past this first part and onto the second part of that lug nut. I'll be able to get a grab on the lug nut to get that friggin' thing off. So, stay tuned. I just want to make sure you can line this up exactly. It should be right about there. The first part. So once that first half is all chewed up, I should be able to get into the second half. Right there. Okay, we're getting a grab there. Extend this, because this sucker is on there a little bit. So this gives us an opportunity to cut it off right there. And there's a little bit of that cap that's still good enough cut off the cap, but not cut off the hardened steel underneath the cap. Okay, next thing I'm going to try a smaller socket, 13/16 of an inch. It's a little smaller than the 21 millimeters. I'm going to try to get that on and see if that can get that off. I'll zoom you in a bit here. You can see the problem. She's pretty beat up. I'll try to get it off here. Slipped. Gonna try a 19 millimeter, getting smaller. That doesn't look like it's gonna work. Okay, we're gonna have to get rid of that cap. That cap is just deteriorated. I'd like it to break off the cap. You see these barbs? I'll get the light here. That barb right there, that's part of the cap that's kind of flared out. I need to grind that down and grind this one down, and then I'll have be able to get onto that back part of that lug nut with the 21 millimeter. Get onto it with this deep well 21 millimeter. That's what's stopping this from going on, because I got a little section that's good on the back end of that, and maybe that's enough to get this off. I doubt it, but I'm going to try it. You getting this? It is coming off. The cap is coming off. I moved it just by prying behind the cap. I think we can get that off. Looks like it wants to come off. Let me try something here. Just need something to pry on. Look at that. Look at that. Rusted underneath that cap. Look. Let's get you in closer. That is totally rusted. Look. Now we might be able to get, that's a solid steel. The cap's removed. We'll spray that down, clean her up, and then we'll get maybe a 19 millimeter on that. Whatever we can. See if that'll come off. PB blaster. $19 millimeter breaker bar and 5-foot galvanized pipe. Come on, baby. Come on, show me the love. Ah, something broke. Yeah. Hey. It's turning. We got it. I thought I broke the breaker bar. Wow, that was brutal. And then his finger loose. Can you believe that? Defective lug nuts. Now that's okay. It's the cap above it, on it. That causes rust in there and it spins off and then just a mess. You've seen it. Looks like I have not damaged that. It looks pretty good. We're good to go. Got it off. Success. Yeah. I've relocated you to the workbench now. I want to take a look at these lug nuts. What is going on? Here is the failed lug nut. Here is the original lug nut. And here is my replacement lug nut. So what is going on with these is that this is a chrome cap that goes over hardened steel, 21 millimeter in this case. It fits like that, so it looks like this, right? And it provides chrome and that sort of stuff, and it prevents from rusting. But what actually happens is rust builds up right in here. This is all caked in rust. It builds up and it underneath this cap, and it pushes out on this cap. So this cap is swelling, and it gets harder and harder for your socket to fit over it as it gets larger and larger. And it starts swelling right here. It works its way that way, so it swells due to rust on the inside, and then it detaches from this, and it starts to spin as you try to get it off, and it will rotate and spin until finally it totally fails and comes off. And that's a good thing when it totally fails, because then you have access to hard steel and you can get that lug nut off. So this two-piece chromed lug nut, capped lug nut, is destined for the dump. I don't like it, and it's out of here. So watch yourself. Be careful. And these are the lug nuts that are on the truck, the remaining ones. They haven't failed yet, but I'm not going to be around when they do fail. They're not going to be around. So they're destined for the dump, all 23 of them. And this one, this is the replacement lug nut. We're not throwing this away. We love this one. We're going to get more of them, actually. It's all one metal. It's not two pieces of metal fused together. It's not going to rust. It's not going to separate. It's not going to fail. We like it. We like it a lot.